Hi guys, welcome to At Home with Ush. Good to see you all again. Today I'm going to share my dead easy quiche. When you're in a bind and people have suddenly rocked up to visit and you need something quick and easy to do, this quiche is an absolute lifesaver. I'm going to teach you how to make the pastry, which is something my mom taught me when I was a child, and it's probably one of the easiest pastries to do. The only trick is you've got to use it while it's warm. We're then going to do a roasted butternut, red pepper and cheese quiche with spring onions. So I've already pre-roasted 500 grams of butternut with half an onion. I've got about a cup of grated cheese, and I have one red pepper which I've roasted, taken the skin off and also the seeds out of and chopped up. You can use any fillings. You can do roast vegetable, you can do mushroom and spinach and feta, you can do bacon and cheese if you eat bacon, you can do smoked chicken. There's a variety of fillings, so if you click on our link, I'll have a whole lot of different filling options for you, as well as quantities that are needed. So to start the pastry, we microwave your butter or your margarine with some water, and then we add the flour. So I'm going to show you what the texture of the pastry needs to look like. If you're vegan, make this with vegan margarine, and you can do your veggie option with the vegan cheese. And instead of the eggs, you would mix a mixture of coconut milk with some cornstarch. That will then help to set your quiche. So let's get going. Alright, so you can see that I've melted my butter and my water together. I'm going to add a touch of pepper and a little bit of salt. You can actually even add mixed herbs into your pastry, or a little bit of grated cheese if you like, because it's really a simple, easy pastry. Then you just stir it together using a spoon. Important that it's not too moist. If it is a little bit moist, just add a touch more flour. You don't want it sticking to you, but this has come together in a nice ball, and this is basically now ready for us to put into our greased pie dish. So I have a beautiful greased pie dish here that I have sprayed with Spray and Cook, and I'm going to pop my pastry in there. If you're doing mini quiches, I just find it easier to use ready rolled puff pastry instead of pushing into all the little quiche dishes, but this can also be used for individual ones. And then flouring your hands, just start pressing your pastry down, starting from the center and working towards the edges. And then just press, using your thumbs, press up the sides. You need to preheat your oven to 220. This is a no pre-bake pastry, so you don't have to bake it blind or anything, which is also very time-saving and energy-saving. So basically, once you've pressed this into the pie dish, we just put our filling straight into the base. We don't need to bake it blind. It's nice to have it quite thin, so even if you feel you've got a little bit extra, rather take, like I am doing, a little bit out the center. It's not a huge expense that you are throwing away, and if you've got a little pie dish, you can always just put it in that. So there we've got our pie dish lined. I'm just checking that my whole base is covered, and you can see why it's important to work with it when it's cold while it's hot, because once it gets cold it will be difficult to actually put into your pie dish. We then take our butternut and onion and we pop that into the dish. Just using your fingers, spread it round to make sure that you've got even covering. I then take my red peppers, dot those around. And always go to the edge with your flavors, because it's like pizza. I hate when you end up with half a pizza that is just crust with no filling. So with your quiche as well, make sure that you are going right to the edges, just so that the flavors throughout the slice of quiche. We then top with grated cheese. And this obviously is to taste. You can decide how much or how little you would like. I'm a bit of a cheese fan, so I like a generous helping of cheese. And then we just take some spring onions which we, using scissors, chop over the top. This also just adds a little bit of green, because green's always good. It makes you think fresh. Just one more cut over here, that should do us. And then lastly, we're going to mix our cream and egg mix. Just 1 cup of cream and 3 extra large eggs. Careful not to get shells in, because no one wants to crunch on a shell. The last egg, using a fork, just give those a good whisk together, making sure you puncture all the egg yolks. And then we gently pour this over the quiche. Trying not to go over the edge, like I've done there. This is your custard that forms the binding and holds your whole quiche together. I think that's good. Just make sure you've got it covered and spread out. And now it will go into the oven for about 30 minutes at 220, and we can then take it out and serve it hot, or you can freeze it, or you can let it cool. And there's our quiche hot out the oven, beautifully golden brown. You can see the pastry is lovely and crispy. I'll just cut a few spring onions on top for garnish. I really do believe that garnishing makes your dish look great and freshens up things. And then we can cut a slice just to show you what the inside looks like. As I say, hundreds and hundreds of flavor variations possible. And if we want to cut this into 8, we just cut it in half, and then each half and half again. Let's just make sure we've got all the way through. And there you have your delicious quiche.